I'm Commander Shepard, and VGS is my favorite show on the Citadel.
Hold on. Where am I?
Shadow Moses.
Shadow Moses. Well, video game reference.
Going up the tower.
This is, please shut up. This is Video Game Sophistry, the weekly show. I'm the bloviator himself, Mr. Andy Burkowski. I'm joined this week, as I have been for the last few weeks, by one, Richard Jellison.
Hello.
Anything else to say about yourself, Rich?
Hello.
Thanks for that, Travis. Great. Anton Mack. What
Hey,
about
what's
you?
up? I'm here, as per usual.
As per usual.
Not a guest, an actual
Well,
personality.
I wouldn't call you guys guests. I'm just saying you're a guest in, like, my heart right now.
Aw.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Nope. And Mr. Hyatt.
What is guest in your heart supposed to mean?
It means that I think positive thoughts about you, and I wish good
That's
things.
not true.
All right. So
Most-
tell us something about you. Tell the class a little about you.
I'm here.
No, but like your personality.
Present.
He is also here.
No. Oh.
My side. My other side.
So you would definitely have a split personality. Like you're definitely. Like,
I would
half
probably
killer.
say so. Depends on how much coffee I have when I wake up.
Like Ocelot and Liquid Snake.
Not even close.
Whoa! Get what we're talking about, Anton?
Pokemon.
Close.
Close enough.
Metal Gear Solid turned 3-0 this week. 30 years since that dangerously insane human being, Hideo Kojima, decided it would be a good idea for all of us to get terrified when we hear this sound.
I had to turn down for that.
Yeah, I know. Do you remember the first time you heard that?
Yeah.
Shortly.
Please tell us more.
Well, it was in the first Metal Gear Solid. I'll just say this now, even though it's for the
I assume it was in the game, not just walking down the street. Oh, that's a beautiful flower.
the 30th anniversary is for like the original Metal Gear
I'm
though on the
hungry.
MSX. So for most people, they went into
I have
Solid,
to go to the bathroom.
and everybody shit themselves when they heard that for the first time.
When they heard what?
That exclamation point.
Okay, so you remember it.
Yeah, it was right. It was on the first screen.
Wow, that's
Regrettably,
bad. I heard.
I know. Stop.
I heard
Don't
it shortly
remind
after.
me.
Whose footprints are these?
And then
You're the one who didn't hide from him then.
I didn't know he was going to follow my footprints.
Anton, do you have any recollection of this noise?
So, I didn't start playing Metal Gear Solid until, like, I'd say early 20s.
Ooh,
Yeah.
So it was already like what, 15 to 20 years old by that
Yeah,
point.
but the first time I ever heard that sound was, what was it? It was the orchestra video game thing that Tommy Tallarico was a part of.
Tommy T.
Yeah.
God, Video Games Live. That was the coolest thing.
So I won tickets off of a radio station, and they sent it to me.
Whoa.
And I was just like, "This is amazing," because I was a really big fan of
Tommy
Final
T.
Fantasy, and Tommy Tallarico is just—he seems cool.
He
seems
does seem cool. Him and Victor Lucas really did shape like Canadian video game coverage.
so great. I love them.
They did, and
Yeah.
even we got a minute because we try to operate in Canada, but those guys level above. They're like the Olivia Munn and that other douchebag that was on Attack of the Show, but for us.
Adam Savage.
No,
Kevin
Pereira.
That's it. I like Kevin Pereira. He's a good dude.
Yeah, well, I could tell you guys got a lot of similar qualities. So we're celebrating 30 years of Metal Gear. It's been 30 years since that insane man made this, and we thought it would be appropriate to go over some of the different, I guess, fondest memories that we've had on the list here. I tasked these guys with making a list. Richard has 3 or 4 things, and then Travis just added the elevator thing.
Do you want me to go first?
I would really love to understand what that is. Yes, please.
Okay, first of all, I wrote one thing because you told us to pick one thing. Richard was just like,
So you're claiming that you actually did what you were supposed to do, and Richard is just a failure.
yes. Well, not directly, but
But it's
Just better
implied.
so
than
the elevator thing, it takes place again in the first Metal Gear Solid. It happens after you destroy the Hind D helicopter.
Spoilers.
Yeah, whatever.
Travis.
How am I supposed to lead into it without saying
All right,
what
before we
happened?
begin, I want you to look at the camera, okay? All right, get started. Go ahead with your story.
So he goes back down the tower, the communications tower, and he
Who
gets on
does?
the elevator.
Metal
Solid
Gear?
Snake. Metal
Okay.
Gear, yes, exactly. Hideo Kojima.
He plays the Metal Gear himself.
Mr. Metal
Plays
Gear.
Metal Gear. And he calls for the elevator, and the warning for the weight limit goes off, and he doesn't understand
And
it
what
because
does he
he's
hear?
the only one. He doesn't hear anything because that sound doesn't play in that scene. So it goes off. He looks at it. He's just like, what? And then a few seconds later, his buddy Otacon calls him through the codec, and he tells him, hey,
What are these words?
Otaku convention.
by the way, there's a sneaking suit I was going to get for you to make this whole thing a breeze, except it's gone. And he's just like, oh, okay. Well, what happened to that? It's just like, I guess they were stolen. Speaking of which, that elevator you're in, it went off, didn't it? It's like, yeah, but I'm only like 200 pounds, and this thing has a weight limit of,
Here we go.
what was it, 1,300 pounds.
Something like that.
And it's
We're
like,
getting to
oh
it.
my God, the guys who took the suits, these sneaking suits that turn them invisible, are in there with you. Holy shit, defend yourself. Well, what was cool about the scene, though, is that, like, when he says that the suits were gone, everything kind of just pauses, and he's just like, oh shit. What's going on here? And then the tension builds up as the only thing you can hear is the elevator going down.
Oh.
And then as they realize what's going on, the music gets intensely louder. And right when Otacon says "look out," like the screen, his face comes out.
Is that what we hear?
Yeah, exactly.
Do we hear that? Did I do it right?
His face comes out of the codec. He's just like, "Oh shit, get out of there!" And it's disturbing because you don't see it coming. He looks like he's gonna eat your face.
You know what, Travis? Let's give a round of applause. That was a mental picture, Travis.
It was. It was
You
one of the
took
most
it.
tense parts of the game, and I don't even think it was really intentional, but I don't know. Shit like that stuck with me.
I really like that. Travis, again, one more time. Mr. Hyatt. Just a little polite clap. We're going to skip Anton and go to Rich. What about you? What do you remember? Because you and Travis are always fucking talking about this
I
stupid
love Metal
game.
Gear.
So go ahead.
Thanks.
Well, there's a couple things.
It's no, there isn't.
It's one
no,
thing.
there is a one thing. Your one favorite thing. When you look at the 30-year legacy of this insane anemic man and what he's created, you're choosing one component of that.
Metal Gear Survive. No, I'm kidding. I once had to explain the plot of Metal Gear to my girlfriend.
Hold on.
Wait.
Yeah.
Look at the camera. Look at the camera.
I once had to explain the plot of Metal Gear to my girlfriend.
For some context, is she a gamer?
Yeah, she just hasn't played
but
Metal Gear.
Also, for context, is that Metal Gear is one of the most convoluted stories you could
Thanks,
possibly
Travis.
describe
Yeah.
to somebody.
So, like,
Travis, I didn't know that. I'm so surprised.
for context.
Like, I'm playing through Metal Gear Solid 5, and she's like, where is this in the games?
All right, hold on. We're saying a lot of like and is. Wow, who thinks we should do a little bit of role play here? A little bit of RP.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Hand up.
So hand up for all of us. So even Travis, you can play you.
Okay.
I think, and if you guys don't mind, I think I got the acting chops. I think I can play his girlfriend.
Give me the
Go
voice.
right ahead.
My best.
Yeah, your best
All right.
voice. Go.
Spot on.
It's so good to see you today.
That's gross.
It's kind of
surprising.
all right.
So, but that's like a very emphatic version of your girlfriend.
I mean, yeah.
normally she just.
okay.
So go ahead. Let's go through this one by one.
You're
We got-
activating people's ASMR.
Go ahead. That was great. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't want to do this.
Go ahead.
Stop. You're scaring me.
So please, honey. Oh, this is the real one. Okay, I'm not going to insult your girlfriend. Oh, Richard, you look great with your glasses and pocket squares. Can you tell me about this game that's all Japanese and weird, sweetheart?
Okay, look, her favorite game is like Zelda, so she's not a stranger to Japanese.
No,
You're breaking the rules.
You're breaking out
sorry.
of the rule.
I'm getting out of the immersion. Okay.
God damn it.
yeah,
foul.
Yeah, babe, let me describe the plot to you.
I don't know
So
if this will
here.
work, guys. I don't think we gotta talk.
So Metal Gear Solid 2, there's a boat and then it explodes, but on that boat is a robot.
There's a boat. Okay, all right.
And on that boat is a robot. Then the main character kind of dies, but he doesn't really die. And he
okay,
comes-
so hold on. There's a robot boat, and
It's like
you
a Transformer.
and who do you play as? The boat or the robot?
you play as Metal Gear himself.
You play as Mr. Metal Gear.
Mr. Metal Gear. And then he dies, but he doesn't really die.
I
And he
think
comes
you're
back.
not telling me what's happening real. I think you're making a mockery of this
I think you're
circumstance.
not letting him talk, for God's sake.
All right, this is out of character. Travis, shut the fuck up.
And then there's a big yellow water purification plant, and under that
Okay.
is secretly a bigger Mr. Metal Gear.
Oh, all right.
And you
so,
play as an effeminate white guy who says, "Colonel, we managed to avoid drowning."
Whoa. Is that good? Is that
I don't know.
it was if you listen, if you thought that was good, please give us a message below.
Not Snake more.
Hashtag yeah.
Hashtag yeah.
So that sounds great. Cool. So what's the point of the game?
It's to sneak and win.
Wow. This definitely is something I want to check out.
She never did.
This is a great, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I can tell from that
terribly.
explanation that she didn't. Anton, do you have a favorite moment in this 30 years? These are not really. It
No,
wasn't
not
your
really.
game.
Like I only recently started playing. Like,
Did
the
you
Metal
Phantom
Gears.
Paint it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you end up beating
it? Was cool. No, not
No,
really.
who beats? No one beats Phantom Pain. Come on.
Yeah.
Nobody beats Phantom Pain. It's stuck with you
No.
forever.
Yeah,
Come
no
on.
one beats it. No one beats that or Mass Effect or
Mass Effect Andromeda.
Battlefields or any of those.
Spyro.
games.
Crash
Everyone,
Bandicoot.
okay, we'll get to that a little bit later. I think that now, again, everyone, let's give our love, a round of applause to Hideo. Thank you for giving us this beauty, this love. Speaking of beauty and love,
What's new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's new,
we're bringing him
pussycat?
back, Tom Jones himself. This is our weekly feature because, listen, it's hard to remember when games are coming out. You know, there's always new ones, not so much during the summer, so it's a little bit of slim pickings now, but this is to help you remember the games that are coming out if you're more casual or just wondered where that came from. Number one is actually a kind of a big release. Maybe it could be like the summer game because there's not a lot of big summer games coming out. Mr. Jellison, what am I referring to?
Oh, me. Probably Splatoon 2.
I'm not your girlfriend anymore.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
okay.
Sorry.
I know.
I was immersed.
I listen. It happens. We locked eyes and there was
I
some
just
electricity.
I felt something. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
I started to like your fingernails and your pink hair, and it was like, whoa.
You guys are the fucking worst.
So Splatoon 2, Splat Harder, Electric Boogaloo, The Quickening is
Sorry,
coming out.
one more time for all that.
Splatoon 2, Splat Harder, Electric Boogaloo, The Quickening is coming out on the Nintendo Switch, only the Switch, not coming out of the Wii U, on July 21st.
Next Friday.
It's coming out next Friday.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I got it pre-ordered. I didn't get to play the Splatfest because I was doing stuff for Andy, but it's fine.
No problems there.
I'm very upset. I'm very excited.
This
I have
is
my
the-
Switch on me.
Okay,
in
but this is kind of a big
preparation.
deal for Switch users, right? Like this is kind of this. What else? What other games do you got? You got this and you got ARMS.
We got ARMS and Zelda and Mario Kart.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
people have already played Mario Kart. So if this doesn't kill it, I think Nintendo could be in a bit of trouble.
Well, I just put 100 hours into Zelda, so I don't know.
yeah.
But either way, this is really big because not only is there a big single player story mode like there was in the first one, but there's also horde mode, which you can also do like a single player and like survive and do the waves and waves and waves of combat, and that's something to do, of course, when you're not playing with your friends. And then it's got the online modes of a bunch of different ways. Besides being, like in on an internet connection in your house, you'll be able to do near field
LAN parties, right?
Basically LAN parties, but you don't need the
LAN
intermediate
parties, baby.
You don't need a modem for it because Nintendo does all that NFC whatever.
So hold on. If me and my chums all have a Switch,
You boys.
and me and my boys, that's much better than chums, went to
Not
good
really.
old Jamie's house after school to play
Yep.
the game, we don't need to know his Wi-Fi password?
No. The Nintendo DS and
Wow.
all of their other things did the same thing where you could just play on a local wireless thing.
So do you guys give any fucks about this?
I do
I
more
do.
so than the first one, just because it actually seems like they're trying to do something interesting.
Well, that seems like a shot
They-
across the bow of
they
the first
seem
one.
I
to
don't
have
know.
killed off a main character from the first one.
They don't die in Splatoon.
Okay, no, but like there's like the
This is a
system-
kid's
becomes-
game.
Okay,
you
like,
turn into
there's-
you turn
there's-
into
you turn
paint.
into
I know, but
squid.
like in the story mode, I assume it's gonna figure out. But like, there's two like idol girls that are like the main two characters of like the big Splatfests and everything, and one
Yeah,
of them is
yeah,
just
that
completely
sounds good.
missing. So like, the plot of the main story mode is gonna be: did she die?
I hope that Splatoon 2's plot is not thinking about the murder of some of its characters. in
I'd
the
like
first
to.
one.
I'd like to get
be
I
dark.
sincerely hope it doesn't do that.
Splatoon 2, dark and gritty.
Yeah, I don't think we need the
It turns
gritty
into-
version.
it turns into
the
noir.
grounded version. I don't think we need that
I
for
mean,
Splatoon.
the lore behind it, though, isn't it already just like these are mutated kids?
What do you mean the
Yeah.
lore behind it?
This is
There
like
is lore.
nuclear mutated fish people.
Yeah, remember the Switch launch that Lunatic was up on stage talking about Splatoon and he had the squid and he couldn't get through his lines?
Exactly. So it's gonna follow through.
Now, what about the fact that they're bringing in some kind of very primitive version of voice chat?
Okay.
Because that was one of the big things that a lot of kid gamers and parents of kid gamers really liked. The fact that they could play a shooter, quote unquote, and not be accosted by people screaming the N-word and about how fat and close to death you are.
So in
Little
the
personal.
first one,
That one was a little personal.
in the first one, there was no voice chat or anything. You had to do it over like Skype or Discord wasn't a thing back then.
Yeah.
But now you do it through a phone app that connects through. It's kind of really convoluted, like how it's going to connect to your Switch and then to the headset in order for voice chat to be in the game. So you're better off just using Discord again. But there's voice chat and party matchmaking lobby things on the app connected through your Nintendo account, I guess. I mean,
And
I
it's that
haven't got a
weird, yeah,
chance
it's
to
the
touch
weird
myself.
phone thing, right?
Yeah,
You
it's
got to
going on
put
your phone.
the cords in and out of the phone.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I hope
I don't know how
doesn't-
many people are going to do that specifically.
I hope it doesn't take away from a lot of kids getting into this, because I think it's a fun way to learn how to play these games. Because like,
I'm sure
I
you'll be
know
able to turn it off.
My
like other games.
girlfriend has a 10-year-old brother, and he really wants to play Call of Duty. He really wants to play Battlefield, and he shouldn't be, because it's a really poisonous environment and it's really shitty.
But the thing is about
to
Splatoon,
be there as a kid, and so
not-
yeah, that's why it's great. So you could bring like 10 and younger to play this game, learn those skills and those mechanics without being accosted.
It's not even all about killing each
Yeah,
other.
no,
it's
it's about
painting the ground, which is very.
but shooter mechanics essentially.
it teaches you.
yeah. So I don't know. Are you guys gonna play together? Are you gonna splat together?
Yes.
Not in that way, but yeah.
I'm gonna shoot my colorful goo.
All right.
Oh,
That's a
boy.
perfect one. Anton Mack. We'll go from Richard's colorful goo
Oh god.
to Anton Mack. What's what else?
purple,
is
by
coming
the
out
way.
the next
So
days? Ooh,
on July 18th,
delicious.
which is the Tuesday coming up,
Yeah.
we have Yonder, the Cloud Catcher Chronicles, coming out on the PS4 and
finally.
PC. So I'm going to
know
read
what this
this
is.
that Travis wrote, but it takes place in the world of Gamia.
Gamia.
Is it Gamia?
It's the
Gamia?
land of games, idiot.
Clearly. But this hero of this world basically helps out residents by farming, fishing, cooking, and to gain their trust while continuing to travel the world.
Sounds like Rune Factory.
Yeah, it just sounds like shit.
All right. Did you see any pictures of this though?
Oh,
I don't know. I'm not a fan.
You don't like you like Animal Crossing though? I thought.
No. So
Well,
I made
this
the
looks-
I made the mistake about buying Animal Crossing for my flight to Vegas.
Yeah.
And then when I got to Vegas, I traded it in at the GameStop there to get
Wow.
another game.
See, that's what a crazy Vegas trip.
I
What
also won
happens in
$5,000, but
Vegas? Oh,
like
shoot.
we're just gonna talk about that later.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about what you did with prostitutes there. So it's built by Prideful Sloth, which is a programmer from Rocksteady, of all
Yeah.
places.
Oh, yeah?
And Activision. I don't know. I see that it looks pretty charming.
Yeah, it does have some charm to it. It seems a little cool, but I don't know. It feels like kind of a rehash of genres we've already had in the past.
Stardew, but 3D. I think 3D.
A little
If
bit,
I'm
yeah.
Looking at the right
Yeah.
screenshots.
I wouldn't mind that. Did you guys get into Stardew Valley?
My girlfriend's really into it. I can't stand it.
I heard the
She
soundtrack
can't
was
stand
really
you. I've
good.
been in her skin
Yeah,
for
it's
a
very
moment, and it's bad. Go ahead, Travis. Last one.
So we have. Yeah, this is.
You knew it
He's
was going to
getting
happen,
to
right?
it.
Like,
Yeah,
you
but I
understand.
didn't
He had to
expect
pull
you
up
just to
his
throw it
notes.
straight at me without any warning beforehand.
We did talk about this in prep.
So
you knew
we
that
got-
after Anton, you would come because there's 3 other people here.
And
So
it'd be
we've
purple.
got Lone
Oh.
Echo. Lone Echo, that is.
What's
for
that
the
coming up?
Oculus Rift on July 20th, which is Thursday. I guess the basic idea is that you're this sentient robot deep in outer space. Ew, I don't like the way I said that.
I'm pretty sure Richard just said he has purple cum,
Deep
so I
in
think
that
you're all right.
space.
And your movement is based around, the
Richard's
non-gravity.
purple cum.
Perfect game. 10 out of 10.
The
We'll buy.
non-gravity effects of being in outer space while you're having the heft and weight of being a robot. It's a little weird to describe because it's Oculus Rift. Everything's first person. That's basically just the way to experience it. But the idea is that you're constructing your ship and you're just doing space stuff.
The one thing you are missing is that it really looks kind of like an interactive movie. Like it's not; these aren't cartoony graphics or animations whatsoever.
No, that is a good
So-
point.
Yeah, it looks a little bit like you're in the movie
Interstellar.
I was going to say Gravity, which is ironic because that's what this is all about. With
Yeah, I was going to
my-
get to
my
that. That's
girl,
immediately
Sandy
Martians.
reminded
Bulls.
me of.
I don't know. The description itself just kind of feels like a tech demo.
Isn't the
Like
Oculus Rift
Yeah,
nothing
all
but a tech
Oculus
demo?
Yeah.
games.
It's just I don't know.
It looks like a cool tech demo, though, at the
There
very
we go.
least.
Cool tech demo. So that's your games. The next 7 days. Next up, let's get to some news.
This week in gaming.
This week, for News of the Week, we actually get to talk about a Pokemon story for the first one. Woo, baby!
Yeah, I'm not excited for it.
God damn it!
It's the Safari Zone.
Okay, you kind of ruined
Yeah,
my mood
you-
there a little bit.
That was...
Now, yeah, it's the fucking Safari
Show's
Zone.
over, folks.
Bury the lead.
Okay, so what's happening is
What's
this
happening?
week on July 22nd in the city of Chicago, it's the Pokemon Go Fest. And during the day, this is from Kotaku, a story outlining what Niantic is doing for their game Pokemon Go. There will be 3 challenge windows in which trainers everywhere will work alongside those in Chicago to unlock global rewards. During the challenge windows, trainers in Grant Park will attempt to unlock perks for Pokemon Go players around the world by catching certain types of Pokemon. Each Pokemon will be tied to a different sort of perk. So trainers at the park will need to carefully choose which Pokemon they catch. Will those in attendance try to catch an Electro-type Pokemon? I'm reading a press release here. I'm not just like asking you this question. To reduce the distance to require to hatch eggs? Or will Grass-type Pokemon to increase Stardust bonuses? Or another Pokemon? Joining the action and find... This is a very poorly written press release.
Kidding.
Because they went hard with the information and then decided at the end to be like a little bit of flavor. And that doesn't work usually.
Yeah, no.
And especially when they said, are they going to do this for this very specific reason? Like a grass type to make sure the battery life lasts longer.
Well, yeah, that's how they're writing it in here. Like there's 6 different types, and like they equal different things.
They give you different bonuses, so whatever is happening in Chicago is going to change the world. And then after that, things are changing, right? They're taking this show on the road, so to speak. Right, Rich?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what's going to happen is a bunch of different things are going to happen all over the Europe on August 5th,
The
2017.
We're going to the Europe,
it's
folks.
going to be. It looks like a bunch of different malls.
Does your passport say the Europe on
The
it?
Europe. It looks like it's going to be at a bunch of different malls around Europe. There's going to be one in Copenhagen, Denmark. There's going to be one
What's
in
that? What's that?
Copenhagen, Denmark.
Oh, I thought you said Denmark.
Yeah, I thought you
Denmark.
said Denmark.
And there's going to be one at a mall in Prague in the Czech Republic. Then on the 12th of August, you're going to have one in Stockholm, Sweden.
So yeah, we don't have to go through all of them. But
Okay.
basically, it's what's happening in Chicago, but in different places around Europe.
basically.
Yeah.
And then there's a big jump between the 12th and September 16th, which is going to
jeez.
be like in Germany,
Well,
France,
the Pokemon
and
got a
Barcelona.
rest. You know, they got a rest a little bit.
I mean, if you're playing the game, they're always on that grind.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. They got to take a rest. You have some work with Nintendo, Anton. Are we going to get any of these?
He's worked directly with Nintendo.
Is there going to be any of these in TO?
Nothing that has been announced as of yet.
So we won't get a chance to help out our Czech Republic friends.
No, not at all.
God, and Japan's having something kind of cool. They're having a Pikachu outbreak, which is kind of redundant because I thought that was just what their culture is anyway.
Pikachu?
Yeah.
Like Pikachu is the encompassing
Yeah.
visual of
If an alien came to Earth and you said, oh, what are these people on this island? What do they believe in? Is it a Bushido culture that has lasted for thousands of years or different ways to cultivate food? No, it's a fucking electric rat. That's what I would show them.
No, you just show them Bill Wirt's history of Japan and you're fine.
I know, but we can't do that because we don't want to put his video on ours and lose some money. So we're not going to do that. This is exciting because this is essentially what they're trying to do to make Pokemon Go Safari zones for real.
I think
Safari Zone-
I think it's their attempt to make Pokemon Go relevant again.
Yeah, well, obviously that's all they're doing because it's
Yeah.
completely irrelevant in every sort of way. But the Safari Zone add to this game is kind of a big deal for me because I still remember, this is story time now,
Oh.
a slightly pudgy, looking into the camera on that one so everyone knows that I might have been undervaluing my pudginess, 4th grader was just chilling in the tall grass in Safari Zone. What does he get but a Taurus? A Taurus.
Taurus is pretty cool.
Taurus is very cool. It was so cool that it was the talk of the playground. And all
think-
the other kiddies wanted to trade me. They're being like, what about this Charizard? What about this Blastoise? It's level 99. No! And I kept it, which ironically kind of made it not as valued because then people are like, fucking Andy's not going to trade this shit. Let's leave him alone in the dirt.
I think
They don't
that's
want to be your friends anymore.
I think
No,
that's
it didn't
bull,
happen.
Andy.
Kick him off the show.
Okay,
It's
so-
the hardest one to catch, isn't it?
I think Scizor is the same in blue, but in red. I
No,
think
it's the
Tauros-
hardest one to catch.
I'm pretty sure Kangaskhan's the hardest one to catch.
Fuck Scizor.
Genghis Khan.
Scizor was an
Scyther, I
Asian
meant.
one.
All right,
Yeah.
so who here has played Pokemon Go? Speak. It's a
Richard,
fucking radio show.
Trev.
We have cameras. Look,
It's
there's
two
one there.
parts.
There's one there.
Okay, but for those
You're
who don't
breaking
see
the
it,
mystery of it all.
If you're not
Damn
watching
it.
on YouTube,
Shit.
go to youtube.com/videogamesophistry.
Stop ruining the narrative.
Okay.
we've
Anyways,
all played Pokemon
he's getting
Go.
upset.
He plays Pokemon Go
Jesus.
every day.
I played
So-
it for about 2 days.
So you played it for a couple. What about you?
I played it for about like 3 weeks. I wanna say.
Were you given some good laps around?
like walking around?
That's what I meant. Yes.
Okay. Calling me fat. Exactly. Yeah, I actually had a route in my area.
Okay.
Because my area is just literally like one massive block comprised of like little subsections.
Ooh.
So you walk through that area and there's a bunch of Ghastly, which is really cool because he's one of my favorite Pokemon.
There you go.
But other than that, no, Pokemon Go sucks now.
Why? Okay. Why does it suck now?
So
Because I think it sucked to begin with. It's not as if it changed the mechanics. To
It was
make
different when you
suck
got
less.
to play with people, though. Like I played it for 2-3 months because I had friends in my
You had
area.
2-3 months?
Yeah, the thing is, like, there was a stop.
What do you
like,
do at that
wait,
point?
okay, so like I have my
Yeah.
friends, whatever. We try to do things, Team Instinct. But
Just
like
get through it.
I
Just get
had
through it,
friends
folks.
that I could walk around Ching Park with, and
Ching Park, yeah. Ching Park.
so like
was
I
the
had
place.
a big place for that, and like there were so
Yeah.
many people there, and there's so many people like to meet and do things with, and like I like was out with friends and doing that kind of thing, and played it at work, and it was a thing to do.
it
was just a
But
game,
for
man.
what happened after the 2-month period? Because that's a long time. You were much more of a hanger-on. Because I felt that
I was also playing it a
fatigue.
bit before Canada even got it because I'm an American and I had my American account.
I do remember.
right?
I do remember
So,
you were in the show showing us, and we're like, "What is this loser?"
Yeah.
But it turned out. you were the loser.
but I mean, it was something to do. Like it got me out and about, and
so why aren't you playing now, though?
I got other things to do. I'm too busy.
Coming
Not
from
really. We're talking about video games here. Like we always got time.
I have 100 hours in Zelda now. Come on.
That's what I mean, though. Like, what could they have done? Because we all kind of agree that this game didn't have the legs to do it. Hold a second on, Travis.
Yeah, we had to have the legs for the game, Andy. That's the point of it.
Oh, it's fucking great, man.
It's a good pun.
Coming from somebody who spent like 2 hours with it, what they could have done to make it a little bit more worth my time is to not have as many like starter Pokemon, not have to catch them over and over and over and over again to get more to show up. That was actually pretty much all the problems I had with it.
What about
And
no?
the
I want to
connection.
battle.
Too many
like,
drowsy.
I think it needed a battle system. It needed a very clear. Me and Anton meeting up in the park. Bring your best Diglett because you know,
see, even
you
after-
know that I got a Chauncey baby, so you better come correct, son.
Even
Yeah,
after the
I'll
battle
just
system
bring
was
my-
implemented.
I'll just bring my Game Boy with an
Yeah.
actual Diglett.
I know, but that's a little different. Everyone has phones, and like that's why Pokemon Go worked because it was so accessible. And if they added, I understand why they didn't because it does promote like bullying on the playground. If you had the ability to, battle, but I think that is the one most severe flaw that Pokemon Go had. If that still was there, I think many of us would still be playing it now because then it's more of an actual game as opposed to a collecting
I
system.
think it has it now, though.
You can battle other people.
I think so.
I don't like think. I want like hard facts.
no, you can do it at like
Yeah, you can do it at like gyms,
and that was
where,
the whole
like you
thing,
take
yeah.
over the gym and then your NPC sits there and battles any competitors. Like as the resident Pokemon expert
yes, go
here,
right ahead, sir.
the problem with this game is that there was nothing to do after the first week. You capture their original set of Pokemon was 151, starting off with Bulbasaur, ending off with Mew, right? But about 7 of those Pokemon you can't catch originally right off the bat. That includes the legendary birds, that includes Mewtwo and Mew, blah, blah, blah. And then you just got bored of catching the same pokes over and over until like 4, 5, 6 months down the road, they're like, okay, we're releasing Generation 2 now. You can catch those ones. By then, most people already dropped off. And now they're doing the Safari Zone, and it's a good idea. It's just all a little too late at this point.
Do you think that it's because we know that they're making some kind of, not Niantic, but the Pokemon brand is, we had a tease of it, I think, last week, actually.
Yeah.
That there is a new Pokemon game coming out.
Coming out for the Switch.
Yeah, so there is something, and it's going to be RPG-ish, I believe. They've
So, I
confirmed.
mean, it's always RPG. But
I know, but they could have, I don't know, Pokemon Stadium, that's not exactly RPG.
Okay,
There's never been
I
a
guess.
home console Pokemon game that was anything like the handheld.
Yeah.
and that's what
Coliseum
people have
was.
been needing.
I guess it still had more of a
Let's not get
story
into a
story.
Poke argument on this, you idiots. I just think that maybe the reason that the brand ambassadors are not putting as much resources behind this is because they have that new game coming out. They have this new one to actually put their money behind. And yeah, I think Pokemon Go made its money. You know, it's a great success story, but maybe it's just that these games are not really meant to be played for every day for months at a time. It's something that you consume during the summer.
I still work with somebody who's playing it to this day. Like has the watch and everything.
So what do they do though? Like it's just
They just catch and fight and
No,
do
I understand the
gyms,
mechanics,
and there's
but I
raid
mean,
battles
like-
and stuff now. Like I don't know. Like they
What
do.
do you mean
they,
raid battles?
They play the game. There's like raid bosses or something. I guess.
Oh shit! You're
Raid
taking
like
on
World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Naxxramas. We're all going
I
in
guess
there.
so. But like I don't
The
know.
Four Horsemen.
She's playing the game still. I don't know how to describe it. Besides, she is on it every day still a year after launch.
Is she your girlfriend? Because we
No.
already had her on the show
No.
before.
No,
And she did kill her. We might have to get her on more permanently.
please.
So yeah,
Kill me.
overall, this is not something that's going to get you involved. No chance.
Nope.
Jesus, no.
Jesus, no. Don't invoke the Nazarene. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of want to. Take that.
The next story that we want to talk about. All of us here play a lot of early access games. They're some of my favorites because they're cheap. They're usually really fun to play, and you can get a few hours of delicious gaming in without spending $60. You know, that works more for my life as someone that talks about games to play a lot of different ones. The idea of spending $70 and playing a game for a week at a time, you kind of leave that for the games that really matter. You know, like I'm not going to do that for every single one, and that's why I like early access. One of those games that I did play many years ago was Ark, now known Survival Evolved.
Ooh.
The sequel to Halo.
That is not. the
Yeah,
sequel
no,
to
don't
Halo.
listen to him.
Yeah, don't listen to. Just as a general rule, when Richard speaks, that's when you could go to the bathroom.
Unless my stuff is actually relevant and good.
No. Yeah, unless hell freezes over, then yeah, absolutely. So, the reason why this one much beloved early access game that is one of the most successful, 5 million people are playing it and have ownership of it, and that number has not been going down. It still is going up. Originally, this was a $30 game. Last week, the developers from Studio Wildcard announced that it's getting a price increase on Steam from $30 to $60. And their reasoning was to ensure with retail parity, basically match the price of the upcoming console versions. The game is not coming out or out of early access until August. Now, this has ruffled a lot of feathers, one within the Ark community, the people that have been there since the beginning, and a lot of other developers that use early access to kind of build and grow. Dean Hall, the DayZ creator, is very famous, that loves these games, said very clearly on Twitter that this is just greed, pure and simple. It's an interesting idea. Since the price jump, the amount of players has not dropped off. It's still been the same trajectory. There's been a lot of negative review scores, but Steam reviews are just a massive pain and misery. No one like that's what you go when you want to think about killing yourself.
I'd probably go to the YouTube comment section, but
Well, it's both stops on the train to death.
Grand Theft Auto 5 is really low now.
Is it really?
Yeah, well, that's because they got rid of mods, remember?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they changed that up.
So
yeah.
Steam review scores literally mean kind of nothing at this point.
They're a fickle community. But that being said, I do think there's something to examine here, because when you buy an early access game, have you guys all purchased and played early access games?
Yeah, you made me
Not
play.
at all.
Thanks, Travis.
We Happy Few.
I did. What a great title.
Oh my god.
And you kind of go into it knowing that you're going to spend $15 to $20 and you're not going to get a full complete experience. I've done that with a ton of games. Some of them are completed games. Like some of them are games that I had more fun with than $60 games, but a lot of them aren't. And a lot of them kind of stay in early access for years at a time. DayZ is not it's still considered early access
I have a problem with that.
by all accounts. Rust is still considered early access
Still a problem with that.
by all accounts. So why you've made that known twice? Why do you have a problem with that?
Like, okay, a game isn't meant to, like, okay, you get a game in early access. Eventually, that's like saying, oh, hey, here's the beta of my game. You can play it here, and then the full release is eventually going to come out with the fixed features, the bug problems not there or whatever, and it's going to be a full game. The jump from the $30 game to the $60 game, regardless of whether or not like it's to match for console pricing, it's going out of early access into, not it's regular access. It's a full game, a completed game, right?
That whole naming convention is kind of stupid because anyone can get it when it's in early access. It's not like it's a secret, like it's still regular access.
You're playing a game that's in active beta, basically. That's all it is.
Yeah, and
so then when it exits that and it enters a full release that can still be updated on and improved on and everything, it's messy, I think, in that way, because you're saying other games like DayZ, which has been in early access for years and years, and like there's changes to it, of course, but it's never going to, at this point, obviously, since the creator's like, meh, whatever, I don't like this thing, is never going to hit a release.
Well, but some games are like that, though. Like, I think that is okay to have some games. Like, you think it's never okay
true, but
to
like,
have any games
I find it as the same idea as Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Where you say
early access is not the same as
look.
Kickstarter.
I think of it this way. You say you paid $30.
This is your girlfriend here. You can't think that.
You paid $30 for Ark
Yes.
back when it was in early access.
Yeah.
That's like saying I'm going to pay $50 for Hyper Light Drifter or even Mighty Number 9.
Yeah.
And then when it comes out, you got to buy it full retail because you weren't one of those backers.
Oh, if you didn't. Yeah, if you didn't
So
opt
that's
in.
what I'm saying. So those people that own it already, that got it for $30, that's fine.
Yeah.
Those people that have to buy it afterwards, now that it's a full release, there you go.
The big
That's
difference,
the
the big distinction
there you go.
there is that the person that got to pay that first amount played the game. And has been playing it and became part of the community. Kickstarter doesn't work in that same
No,
dimension.
I understand that, but I think it's the same idea because you supported it while it needed the help, and then now that it's a big thing, there you go.
The other
You did your
distinction
thing.
there that I think is important is that Kickstarter rewards people that went in early and gave money.
Yeah, you
this
got to-
system,
you got
early access, doesn't reward people at all. They're not getting special items. They're not getting anything that would be special when they slogged through the community of Arc players, because I was a part of that, slogged through for years to try to get this shitty, broken game to any sort of semblance
But
of something
that's the
completed.
point.
Yeah, that's the point of early access,
Yeah.
right? Like you're
No, I agree,
going
but
in
don't
with the
you
idea.
are the bug fixer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's fair once you leave early access and going into a retail release to actually raise your price. Because I know players like a bunch of my friends will not do early access. They are against it.
I love it though.
They
It's so
like
much
the
fun.
idea of it. It's just that of them as gamers, they don't see any need for them to actually spend money to get a game that's incomplete. You know what I mean? So like I see where the dev is coming from and being like, yeah, it's $60 now when we go for retail. Like, fine. Cool with it. Do your thing. Like, people are going to buy it. It's not that big of an issue. It's a $30.
It's a bit of an issue because it is the most popular of any of these, or at least the most successful in terms of finances.
These people that
of any
bought
of
it already
these.
bought it.
I know they already bought it, but it
doesn't
when
affect
it
them.
goes into a real regular game space, you would assume that game is now better and ready.
It's gotten better since it started.
It has, but it's not like this just happened arbitrarily. It's not like this came in with a new patch that got rid of all the other bugs and were retail ready. It's literally just the studio saying we need to fix the finances a little bit. Let's double the price, 100% increase to the price. I don't know. I still think it's dangerous for members of the community. That play Arc. Like, you don't think they're at all feeling like the Studio Wildcard doesn't give a shit about them?
I think they think the game's good enough to hit the 1.0.
I think the game is good enough to hit the one. What the fuck are you?
Yeah, what does that
I
mean?
think, like, okay, so you could imagine like a beta, like I've been talking about, being like 0.8, 0.9. It's leading up to the 1.0 release. That's the version. So then they think the game's good enough to hit 1.0. And then whatever releases in the future will be 1.1, 1.2. They think it's good enough to get there, then I don't see what the issue is.
I don't know. You don't.
It
like,
could be a
it's
money
just
grab
like,
thing, but at the same time, those people that already own it,
Yeah,
why are they
don't
crying?
have to pay more. You're right. It's not why are they crying. I think it's looking at and trying to trust the people that you've began to start a community with. Early access like Kickstarter is about creating a community between the developers and the people that play the game and having that conversation back and forth. And I think the community didn't want this increase because it hurts the industry a little bit. We talked about DayZ and Rust and like Prison Architect and Oxygen Not Included and all these games that I fucking love. When an early access game can show that it's allowed to double its price when it goes to sale, that is going to hurt the value of other games. That's going to hurt Oxygen Not Included and Rust, because when they make that decision to not do that and not have the same evaluation, all of a sudden they're not considered a AAA game.
So
like
the
it
price-
hurts. I think it hurts the other smaller developers.
Yeah, but it's a tough thing too when you are developing a game, you put it out into early access, and isn't the potential goal for you to get to a $60 retail release?
It's tricky. I don't know if that's the thing.
Like I don't know what their intention was coming out with Ark and what the end goal was.
Yeah.
But I can't for sure say that was that the $60 release wasn't originally their intention. Then they're only doing it out of greed. Like the DayZ creator, he said that it is just greed, pure and simple. I can't say that was the fully.
No, he's clearly a little emphatic. He's a little upset.
He's a little
upset.
He's been salty.
He's been working on this game for a while, and all of a sudden, these friggin' Danish bastards. That I think Studio Wildcard. I'm sorry if they're not. We've actually had them on the show a long time ago. When the game was like first run in, so that was kind of cool. And they explained to me how you can use poop for everything, and I thought it was hilarious. My 23-year-old self thought it was amazing. But now the poop jokes are gone, and now it's just corporate finance, baby. I don't know. So you guys are completely cool with this. You think there's no issue?
If you're saying the issues with the price, then it's literally the opposite situation for what we were talking about with G2A.
Yeah.
Where if devaluing the game by putting it out on a thing where you can get it for cheap is saying, oh, it devalues everything else that's on there, or everything else related to it.
You make it $60. That's the thing. I don't think any. You were talking about that, Anton. I don't think any of these early access games are AAA type. They don't have the same sort of budgeting. They shouldn't cost $60 whatsoever when it comes to the regular.
Yeah,
release.
but then you could also look at it as like dollar per hour kind of deal, where it's like if most people on average have picked up Ark and put in easily over 100, 200 hours. $60 is a small price to pay to get continual patches to make sure you're getting a good game.
I mentioned it again. This is the third time I'm saying it. I played Zelda for 100 hours.
Yeah, you can stop saying it.
Buying that plus the Switch comes out to like say $550 together. That is $5.50 per hour that I put in on Zelda alone.
You can't look at it like dollar. I don't like that.
But if you're looking at it by a price point in per how much you're going to pay for the amount of fun you're going to have
in that case, all right, in that case,
it works.
In that case, again, Rome Total War 2 should cost me $8,000. Because I have like 1,000 hours.
You got it for a song at that point. That's the thing. They put down the arbitrary. They put down the arbitrary thing.
It's not that how you look at games.
That fucking pinball game that I had in Windows 95 should cost me $14,000.
I'm just saying, it's not a rule going into purchasing a game. It's a rule after the fact. Like, was it worth it? Was it the money worth it? And at the end of the day, if players are constantly playing a game and have only dropped $60 for it, and it seems like something that'll interest you, it is totally worth it. Don't bitch about $60.
I like that. That's where we're going to end. That was a solid place to end. A big thank you from the VGS crew. I'm Andy Burkowski. Again, if you want to be a part of the show, please send us a message. p.sophistry@gmail.com. I'm joined always. Anton Mack is usually here every single week. Richie was here, and Travis just killing it in that last segment, man.
Yeah.
You were so verbal. We're going to zoom in on it because there's one moment where Travis is just looking with this 1,000-eye stare. 1,000-mile stare.
1,000-yard.
Yeah, it's VGS.
I'm here too.
Travis, do you know what Ark is?
No, don't care.
Great, Travis. Just wonderful content. Keep watching all of our other shows, Dialogue Wheel, Point of Interest, and the other stuff we try and do on the channel. And this is on iTunes as well. Talk about video game sophistry. Type that into iTunes. I fixed it. It all works. Thank you guys very, very much.
Thanks for having us.
You're here. You're part of this. You're not even my guest.
Oh, fuck. Well,
Yeah,
there you go.
VGS.
Without a doubt, the worst episode ever. Rest assured that I was on the internet within minutes, registering my disgust throughout the world.